few things that couldn't be part of those videos is because of the nature of their content. Now, especially then when I made those videos, they were based on so-called official stuff. Well, not that those things can't be out there, but they weren't the ones I'm going to be talking about. Plus, nothing official about them. Nevertheless, they are part of or byproducts of ADHD. Now, because the consumer, I just said it's a bit hard and confusing to talk about them because there's nothing official about them, and they not as common. They are common, but not as common traits. One is hyperfocus. Now, considering as compared to focus, it's hyperfocus. A person with that could be focusing on something for it's like intense, incredibly intense focus. Could be spending days on that certain subject. Non-stop, hyperfocus. Now, I mean, I can't put words to it because it's like non-stop. You're thinking about it, you're talking about it, eat it, you drink it, you shit it, you did it non-stop. You're talking about it, you can't stop talking about it, you can't stop thinking about it, you can't stop. And like I said, it could go on for days, for a month. I'm not sure I can say months, depends, for a month, for days. It could go on. Hyper-focus on and it could be anything, could be something going on at a certain time. See something you're just too involved in, something that is just on the spot gets your attention, or something you've been, it's like, could be what they call as referred to as special interest or whatnot. It could be like, no, anything can come out of nowhere, can have been there for some time. You just all of a sudden you have too much focus on it, and it's like a bit kind of to say so could kind of reach the levels of the way it works in psychology and psychiatry. Insanity or maniacness. Now, with those words used, not like insanity is not to be confused with psychopath and stuff like that. But they're like, to say so, borderline. They are too, it's not too drunk to know they're drunk kind of situation. No, they're not that drunk. Yet they look like they're that drunk. That's the thing. So they look like they're gone insane or mania. You can use those words could be easily taken for granted. But yeah, the attention, the focus is that much. Days and nights. A person will be thinking about it, researching about it, reading about it, checking things about it, watching about it, la 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 la. It could affect their personal lives, their relationship, their social life, their profession, and this and that, because that's all they are about. Day and night. Not sure, on the spot reminded me of something that I'm not sure how many of you watched that film, Heat. One of the films that was hyped about, one of the rare collaborations of Al Pacino and De Niro, as in Robert De Niro. In that, when you see the character of Al Pacino, I mean, in a way, even in real life, it was funny. I was watching this making of section. I love those bits of the film Donnie Brasco, and in that, because it was Al Pacino and Johnny Depp, in that case, Johnny Depp does say the same thing about Al Pacino, that he's a maniac, because he spends hours and hours and days rehearsing, revising, doing his lines and working out, no wonder he is who he is. Whoa. And them kind of actors, they spend too much. And that again, part of method acting, you spend absolute focus, hyper focus on your character. You study about it, research about it, dig deep about it, become that character. And that is one of the things with the ones who are into method acting. That's when it's like it could get a bit. You can lose the plot. Only that you have to know when to, not to kind of keep balance. You're not too drunk to know that you're drunk. Yeah, it may look like it. Hyper focus. The second, hypersexual. Now it's a level above. Normally, when it comes to this normal world language, there's terms called how you define as sex drive. How is a person's sex drive? How sexual are they? Low sex drive, medium sex drive, or high sex drive. I can't go into details of it because it varies of what you mean by what. It's relative. How is one sex drive low, and that's the thing that low could become, the way they may look like, low could become or may look like asexual, like they're not into sex at all. In that subject, that's a thing we have to go, and but I can't in this video because there's a kind of specialization of its own. Video after videos could be made about it, talks after talks could be about this thing, but going to touch on basis because that's the thing. So whether they are, when you say low sex drive, whether they are asexual or just like, and that could be like depending on their sex life, but in case they are couples, or their sex life when they are single. Now that's where these subjects are a bit kind of funny to talk about because they're sensitive taboo issues, or again I'm not sure to call it stigmatic issues, are to be touched in this case, to have a conversation about it, because the thing is that if you don't talk about it, they become destructive. It's like when they use the word pervert. Pervert means it's like perversion of anything, perversion of politics or perversion of business. Perversion when you don't do it or get to do it the right way. Sorry, you do it the wrong way. You gotta have what you need. You need, because it's a need. Very basic. It's just as much as a need as anything else. Eating, drinking, or needing toilet. Same as much a need, natural. So when you don't get the right way, you go about it the wrong way, and which does include masturbation. And that again, masturbation itself, is that right thing or wrong thing? That's a variable. That's variable and relative, because scientifically plus religiously. Now scientifically is a variable because you could end up doing too much. But is it like, do you know how much is too much? Excessiveness of anything or everything. It's like, it just doesn't have to be just alcohol to be too much. Even too much of water is not good. Excessiveness. The same with the thing about, now we are talking about masturbation and not sex life, having sex, because that's, to say so, there's no such thing as too much sex. But is there too much, is there something too much of masturbation? And that's where we go to sex life or sex drive. And how much is too much? So not talking about, not discussing and not dealing with it is when it becomes destructive, because that's, like I said, in this case again it leads to many other things. Now I keep reading about pedophiles, rapers, and even incest, and does make wonder, what is it that makes them do it? Is it perversion, or is it some sickness, or this or that? But like I said, videos after videos could be made about it, talks after talks, huge variable. Going back to low sex drive, medium sex drive, high sex drive. Now again, it's a variable. How do you define low sex drive? Is it low sex drive? Is it low sex drive could be 1, but then asexual is 0. Just 1-digit difference. So that's how it's a variable. So medium and high, and then beyond that, there's hypersexual. Day and night thinking about it. You can't stop thinking about it. You can't. Everything just now here it connects. Now going back, we are talking about ADHD, hyperactivity disorder. Everything is hyper, but then everything is hyper even in case of autism itself. Things are intense, immense. Then in that context, those things are overlooked or ignored or unknown of. So, but then that's the thing. Like I didn't put in the previous videos because it wasn't mentioned on the article where it should have been. I by chance found out about it on social media. It's just the way I found out about, like, no, I'm a left-hander. I write left, and I can slightly write with the right hand. But there's things I can do with the right hand. Most things I can do the left hand, and there's things I can do both hands. Now I think that's the thing. If I were to shoot, which one would be? I think I can do both, but I'm maybe better at left. Then it becomes ambidextrous. You can use both hands. So that's where those things are not as, no, that's why they weren't part of my previous videos, because that wasn't part of the article. It's one of the things I found online here and there. Things came up. This is just a way of people's sexual identity. There's many, and they all make sense, generally speaking. That's where they get in conflict with science and religion. So same way, going back, the people who have that thing, hypersexual, they can't stop thinking about it. They maybe when they're like, no, and again, so many things connect with it, because if you're looking for a partner and whether or not you're able to do, so many people when they're dating and stuff, they wonder whether or not to mention about the autism and stuff. Many people wonder in their job stuff and filling the forms whether or not they should mention it, disclose it. It's the same way. This, whether or not you should, or you'll be taken as pervert, a pedo, psycho, could be judged without understanding what exactly it is. Who knows? It is not. So, and I've known many social media, like men and women alike. The ones they can't stop thinking. They think about every day, all night. They may not look like it. They could be very, very cheeky, quirky, and could be very colorful. Their language, they could use the word fuck. Like you could be saying, oh yeah, fuck yeah. Oh no, fuck no. Convulsion, as I put in my previous post, convulsion, expressiveness, tics, as it is, Tourette syndrome. They can use those words, expression, you're gay, you bastard, he's a pussy. They can, but, like that. They can end up saying that. So those things, how they correlate. So that's the, and quite often that's the thing. Whatever they have to be talking about, they have to bring some kind of sexual reference. They have to talk about sex, because it's like they can't stop thinking about it. It's to say someone of their special interest, or it's like, is there something wrong to say like you love sex? Or something wrong to say you love reading about it, researching about it, you love knowing about it. Again, when you have to know when it becomes addictive. But then again, addictiveness could be with the meds as well. The medications you take for anxiety and depression, they could become addictive. Thin line. So when is becoming sexual, a bit like you're addicted to sex. Now whether or not you watch porn, but you're addicted to it. You're addicted. No. Can't stop thinking about it. Can't stop doing it. And that's again when I go back to the thing of, if you're finally looking for a partner, whether or not they are what you are, hypersexual, how is the drive meeting? Is there chemistry? Is there compatibility? If there's not, it's like it's a conflict, and which one thing leads to the other. So those things, that's the thing now I'm talking about here on purpose, because I have to mention those are byproducts or subparts or subtypes of ADHD, plus somehow maybe accept things the way they are naturally, because again this is the way exactly the stigma attached to disabilities. Disability, like I said, it took me ages to accept it in the first place. Taboos, stigmas, social acceptance of those bits. To me they are the same. It's as natural as it could get. It's the same as much a need, like I said, as being hungry. Hungry or horny. A need. Either way, it's a need. So, I was reading about, when I didn't touch the subject about stimulants, because I spent 2 or 3 weeks now. I made quite a few posts. A dream come true to be studying all this chemistry and biology and anatomy and everything. And I studying about things, and one after the other I ended up reading about intestines and stuff. And the thing is that there was a bit of, on Wikipedia now, as explicit visuals, and like I may have to go on YouTube to find more visuals, because I wanted to see the whole process. And then I realized, why is there this disgust? I was mentioned on Wikipedia anyway. There's this social disgust attached to it, and I wondered why. Is it the smell or is it the look? And why is it so stigmatic? Yeah. Like, it's just as natural as anything else. Ironically, that's the thing. Those things are reusable. All kind of wastes are reusable, medicinal or not. Animals' waste is reusable as compost. So those stigmas, and I was like, maybe, I'm not sure, maybe we can talk about them somehow, discuss them, and somehow, because that's the thing, stigma is here, taboo is here, shame is here, same is there. Women's situation is PMS, stigmatic, taboo, blah, blah. I made a post about postpartum, I keep confusing as TOD, partum depression, aka postnatal depression, stigma attached to it, of what they go through. And I wondered all that depression they go through, and next thing they have to get back to work. But then the worst thing is, they go through that, and next thing, what if they give birth to a baby who is disabled. I hope I made sense, because I couldn't talk about it the way I was supposed to, because yes, the thing was there. I have to be a bit, let's see how it goes, but I hope I made my point, and I've mentioned those bits as clearly as I possibly could have, as easily, not easily, but I made sense. Thank you.